And always make sure to get it down your neck. I'm gonna hit my chins. Hey, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kertisha Marie, and today we are going to be playing in some of the new makeup that I did in a recent unboxing. I will try to include that here in one of the links in the eye. It will also be down below in the description bar, so be sure to check that out if you've missed that. I do also want to give an update on a few of the products mentioned in that video while we do our makeup. So before we get into those updates, the first thing that we're going to do is we are going to do the priming, which is going to be the Catrice Prime and Fine Pore Refining Anti-Shine Keep Me Matte Long Lasting Oil Free Base. This I have used a couple of times and I do enjoy it. It is got like a lotion consistency. It's not very thick at all, which is what I like, especially on my oily skin. So we're just going to go ahead and set that in here. We're just going to put this in the areas of which I get the most oily. I do have oily skin, so I could put a primer all over my face, but I choose not to do that. It does have a little bit of a scent, but nothing that sticks around and nothing that's too harsh. So while that is drying, I am going to go ahead and prime my eyes. And we're going to take the MAC Paint Pot in the color or shade Soft Ochre. I'm going to take a little bit on my finger and we're just going to put that on the eye. So while we're putting this on, as I mentioned, I want to go ahead and update you on just a couple of items that I got during the Ulta 21 Days of Beauty sale. One of those was the Wet n Wild Lip Sleeping Mask. I don't remember the specific name of it, but that is an item that I no longer have, so I will try and put a picture up here somewhere of that item. It was an inexpensive lip sleeping mask. I think it was like $5 or so, but the quality definitely showed up in the price. It was really thick. It was like they had taken Vaseline and put in some of the lavender essential oil and mixed it up and put it in this little tube. And I know that some people are really into essential oils and maybe into a thicker lip mask, but for me and my personal preference, I just was not a fan of that. So I did return that. And then also I returned the Pure Matte Mist Setting Spray. I had used that a couple of times. I didn't feel like it did anything miraculous for my skin. And then the nozzle broke. Like I couldn't get any of the spray out of the nozzle. So when I purchased it, I bought it at the 21 Days of Beauty sale that Ulta has a few times a year for $12.50, $13, somewhere around there. If I had liked it, then I would have, continued to buy it as long as it's a quality item and I actually see it doing something on my skin. But the nozzle broke. So if the nozzle is going to be an issue for a more expensive product, that's definitely not one that I'm going to be purchasing or repurchasing. I have drugstore options and the nozzles are perfect. I will be using one of them today in this video. So there's not really an excuse for a higher end product, in my opinion, to not work the way that it should work. So that one was also returned. So those are just a couple of items that I wanted to update you on from my recent unboxing. We are going to go ahead and try a few more products in today's video. We've got our face set and our eye set, so we're going to go ahead and go into our brows. This is an item that I received in a BoxyCharm earlier this year, and this is going to be the Hourglass Arch Micro Brow Sculpting Pencil. This is going to be in the shade Arch. This is available, I believe, at Sephora, so you can purchase this. So I'm going to go ahead and do my brows. Alright, so we've got our brows finished. I do like this brow pencil. I do think that it is a good one. The end of it is up and down, so it's like a sliver opposed to it being like a dot, like a regular pencil a lot of brow products are just like the dot, like a pencil in. So it does have that unique ending, and I do enjoy that. It does go on really smooth. It is a creamy consistency, but it does stay in place. Now we're going to dive into the eyeshadow. We're going to be taking one from e.l.f. This is the Bite Size eyeshadow in the shade Pumpkin Pie. I have gotten into this just a couple of times just to kind of test it out and see how it wears. I do think I like it, but this shade is so similar to my skin tone that it does take a little bit of packing to have it show up on my skin. But we're going to go ahead and we're going to dive right into this 4-pack here. So we're going to take a fluffy brush, and we're going to just pack that on in my outer corner. And as you can see, it's just really similar to my skin tone. So it's a little challenging to get it to show up, but it's a good transition shade. So like if you're my tone, this would probably be a really good transition shade for you. If you are deeper tone than me, it would still work as a transition shade, but depending on your eye shape, you would want to take it up a little bit higher than what I'm taking. So this blends out really well. I do like how they have these blend out. I'm going to take a little bit more and tap it off, and then I'm going to get the inner corner. And then we're going to go in with the same brush with this deeper tone, and we're going to take it on the outside. And it adds just a little bit of depth to the eye. So there's those two shades on my eye. And we're just kind of blending out the edge right here. And we're going to blend out this one here just a little bit as well. And then we're going to take one of these shimmer shades, and we can use our finger for that. I recommend using your finger when it comes to shimmer shades because you will get a better payoff with them when you place them on your eye. If you're not comfortable using your fingers, you can also wet a brush with some setting spray, and that will work wonderfully as well. So we're going to go in with this lighter one here. None of these shades have names on them, but you can see how pretty that is. For a $3 eyeshadow palette, this performs really well when it comes to the shimmer shades. And we're just going to take that on our finger, and I'm just going to put that right here on the inner portion of my eye. And I'm going to take it just a little bit higher so that when my eyes are open, you can see just a little bit of that shimmer. It's so pretty. And we're going to take it on the other one. And again, take it up just a little bit higher, but not too much. And then you just want to blend out the edge. There we go. And just because we're going to take a little bit of this deeper one, also really, really pretty. And we're going to kind of use that as a blender between those. There we go. And then we're going to go back to the original brush and then just get a little bit of that shade there and just make sure it's not too high and clean up anything that might just be a little bit too high. So we're going to continue on now that we've gotten that all cleaned up, and we're going to go into our base. We've had our primer setting and soaking in, which is what I like to do because of my oily skin. I kind of like to give it like a head start, if you will. So we're going to go ahead and go in with the foundation. The foundation I'm going to be taking today is going to be the L'Oreal Infallible 24-Hour Fresh Wear Foundation. This is one of my favorites from the drugstore. It does have that fresh kind of look. It's more skin-like, it's lightweight. They have a good shade range, and it's available, you know, at Walmart, Target, Ulta. all drugstore locations that sell L'Oreal. You may not be able to find all the shades at all of the locations, but they do have a really good shade range. So we're gonna go ahead and take some of that. We're gonna put it just right on my face. As you can see, it is a liquid foundation, but it's not watery. We're gonna go ahead and blend that in with a brush. I like to take the e.l.f. Ultimate Blending Brush. And if you like medium coverage like I do, I would recommend using a brush. There are other ways, of course, to apply makeup. You can use your fingers, you can use a sponge. All of those are good options. But a sponge will soak up more of the foundation that you may not want for it to take. Take more on this side. As you can see, it's liquid but not watery. And always make sure to get it down your neck. I'm gonna hit my chins, in between your brows, and I like to take a little bit of that kind of just through that. It gives them a more natural look. All right, so that's what the foundation is looking like. Like I said, this is one of my favorites. Really good, really, really good foundation. And I think that this is one that works for all skin types. I have oily, acne prone, sensitive skin with hyperpigmentation, and I feel like it does a really good job of covering that up and like evening that out without feeling cakey or feeling heavy. And again, the shade range is really, really good. So I would recommend this. I have recommended this to people and they seem to enjoy it as well. So this one for me is probably going to be a holy grail. I hope that L'Oreal does not discontinue it because I really do enjoy it. So now that we've got our foundation on, we're going to be going in and concealing just some of the darkness I have under my eyes. I don't color correct too often, but I do like to conceal just so that my base does look even. We're going to be taking another one by L'Oreal. This is going to be the L'Oreal Full Wear More Than Concealer. This is a drugstore full coverage concealer that comes in a range of shades as well. I would recommend this one as a dupe for the Tarte Shape Tape. The range is not as wide, but it is still a really good concealer. So I have the shade 415 Honey. It's quite dirty as I'm down to the last little bit, and I've taken the stopper out because I want to make sure that I get all of my money's worth. Usually when the stoppers are in these, there's a good portion that's left down in there. So I would recommend taking some tweezers, taking it out, making sure that you get all of it out of there. Anyways, I'm gonna take a little bit of this because you do not need much, and I'm just gonna dot it underneath my eyes. And I'm gonna take a concealer brush. This one's gonna be the Morphe M173 concealer brush. And I'm just gonna pat that out underneath my eyes. And use that to kind of sharpen up that line. That. And as you can see, you do not need a lot of this whatsoever. Alright, so there is that. As you can see, it concealed a lot. Really enjoy that, and you don't need very much whatsoever. If you have dry under eyes, I would recommend going in with very little, and to make sure that you put a nice moisturizer underneath your eyes, otherwise it can look heavy. So something like the CeraVe Daily Moisturizer, or if you have an eye cream that's really moisturizing, I again would recommend going in with that, allowing that to set in probably like 10 minutes before you go in with this, and go in again with a very small amount. Now we're going to highlight just a little bit, not a lot, and we're going to take this Benefit Booing Cakeless Concealer, also a new one that I received from the 21 Days of Ulta sale. I did get this in a sample when you could get samples, like last year at Sephora, and did really enjoy that sample. So it was on sale, got it for half off. This is a more high-end type of concealer, but it's still not horribly priced. So we're gonna go ahead and take this. This is gonna be in the shade number 9. The shade range for this is horrible. So just to give you a heads up, if it's something that you're looking into, I think there's maybe 2, maybe 3 shades deeper than this. And I am not a very deep toned girl. So we're gonna take this, we're gonna put just a dot or 2 underneath my eyes. Again, full coverage, you don't need a lot. It does say on here that it's cakeless and it's supposed to be also creaseless. I have not found creaseless to be true. Just gonna be completely honest with you. I'm gonna take a fluffy brush and see how this works out here. Because I do want it diffused. I don't want it to be very, very light. Oh, that worked out okay. So that gives it just a little highlight. This is another one that if you do decide that you want to purchase and you have dry under eyes, to make sure that you do moisturize. Otherwise, it is also going to look really cakey underneath your eyes and really dry. All right, so that looks good. Now we're gonna go ahead and set everything. I'm taking the LA Girl Pro Powder High Definition Setting Powder. This is gonna be in the yellow shade slash banana. Yeah, banana yellow. I'm gonna take a little bit just in the lid of this and take another brush. We're gonna take this one. I received this in a BoxyCharm and it's literally just labeled BoxyCharm on it. And we're gonna take a little bit of that and we're gonna pack that underneath our eyes. Just to set that. This brush is really dense. It picks up a lot. You want to make sure that you're pressing that in. And then we're going to take a little bit just on my nose because my nose does tend to get oily. And then for the rest of the face, we're going to take the Super Stay Full Coverage Powder Foundation. This is going to be by Maybelline. So this is a foundation, but it was designed for oily skin. So I'm going to take this and set the rest of my face. I have had this for a little bit and have used it as a setting powder in the summertime. I didn't feel that it did anything for any of my oils in the summertime. In the fall, winter, my skin does tend to be a little bit more combo. Normal, maybe even some days. So I'm going to test this out and see how this does during the season. And if it's not something that I find really does anything, it will not be staying in my collection. Now that we've got the powder all on and set, we are going to go ahead and set our face with setting spray. This is going to be the Stay All Night Microfine Setting Mist by e.l.f. I did not get this in that video that I did the unboxing. I did purchase this after, but I did want to include it in this video so that we can, you know, just check it out, try it together. I hear that this is going to be a dupe for the Urban Decay All Nighter. I personally did not like the All Nighter. I don't like strong smells. I didn't feel like it did anything with holding the makeup onto my face. So for me, that's a no. I'm gonna go ahead and shake this up. And we're gonna go ahead and set our face. It does have a microfine setting mist. There is a little bit of a scent, but it's already gone. Like, you can't smell it. So that's really, really nice. I don't mind it if it has a scent and then it's gone, but when it hangs around, I can't handle that. It gives me a headache every single time. And it's dry. I feel like it's already dried on my face. So that's really, really good too. So we're gonna see how this goes for the day. So now that we've got our foundation and base all set and in place, we're gonna add a little bit of color back to my face. We're going to start with the Sun Stalker Instant Warmth Bronzer in the shade Cocoa Natty. This is by Fenty. Fenty is widely known for, one, being Rihanna's brand, but two, also when they came out, they completely killed the game with their shade range and their exclusivity. I believe that's a word that they had from jump. A lot of brands can still take note from them because they are so sure to make sure that no one fills out, and I really, really like that, especially for deeper skin tones. This is a decent bronzer. With all of that being said, I can find that it will skip a little bit and it's a little bit too red toned for my liking. So I am trying to use this up. This is in my unofficial 2020 Project Pan. I'm getting there. I'm so close. I can feel it. I can feel it in my bones. So we're going to take a little bit of that. This is going to be on just a Wet n Wild contour brush. I don't tend to contour. I am much more of a bronzer fan. And we're going to add some color just right here. And we're going to take it up, of course, on the forehead just a little bit, and then across. And just, again, warm up the face, add a little bit of color, and then down the sides of my nose. And that is good. Then for blush, we're going to take this e.l.f. palette. This one does not have a name, but it's the dark blush palette. And we're just going to go in with this color here. So we've got the blush and bronzer on. I'm going to do my eyeliner off screen, but I do want to mention the product. This is going to be the Maybelline Master Precise All Day Liquid Eyeliner. It is a felt tip pen. Black, wears beautifully, stays in place. I absolutely love this. Totally, totally, totally worth your money. For me, this is a holy grail and, of course, an affordable option. So I'll be right back. All right, so I do have the eyeliner on. We're gonna go in with mascara next. I've got this Essence Volume Booster Lash Primer. This is a product that I did feature in the video, in that unboxing video. So I'm gonna go ahead and use that. And this just helps for your mascara to stay on just a little bit longer. So we're gonna take a little bit of that. It says here on the bottle that it has super fruits, and I'm not quite sure what that means, but it also says that it is super volumizing. I do think it is volumizing. I do feel like my lashes look pretty voluminous. And then I'm going to take the number 7 Stay Perfect Long Lasting Volume Mascara. This is a tubing mascara. The bristles are really, really short on this, but this is one that I really, really enjoy. This is a drugstore option, and it's a really, really nice mascara. Once you put it on, it is there. If you get it on your skin, you know, your eyes, I have hooded eyes, and I have pretty decent eyelashes, so I don't ever really wear falsies, but if I do get it on the upper portion of my eye, I can just let it dry and take a Q-tip and rub it off, and most times it will not disturb any of the eyeshadow that I have. So hopefully you can see a little bit of a difference here between the eyes with the mascara and without. With the short bristles, it makes it really, really simple to be able to get into the corners. And that is surely one thing that I love about it. If you are not familiar with what a tubing mascara is, it creates literally a tube around the hair of the eyelash instead of just like painting it. Perfect, so there is that. I did get a little bit here in the inner corner on my skin, so I'm gonna get that cleaned up. I'll be right back. Thought it would just be a wise idea to come and show you kind of the cleanup. So I'm going to go ahead and take a Q-tip and just rub that right off. And again, it's gone. Didn't disrupt any of my foundation or the concealer, and it looks good. And then I believe I got a little bit right here. Yep, I did. Just because of my good old hooded eyes. So just rub that off. And there we go. Didn't disrupt any of the eyeshadow, anything like that, and we're good to go. So we're gonna set our face again, and then we're gonna go in with lip liner and lipstick. And now that that's all set, we're gonna take the NYX brown lip liner. This is literally in the shade brown, and we're gonna line our lips. If you take lip liner and put it kind of all over your lips, it will make the lipstick or anything that you put on top stay just a little bit longer. It's almost like a primer. So I always do that. And then I'm going to go in here with the Touchable Taupe, another product by Maybelline. This is kind of a cool tone brown shade. There's that. And this is a cream kind of lipstick. And there is all of that. So this is the face. I'm gonna go ahead and get dressed, and I will be back in a second. All right. So I went ahead and got dressed, did a little something with my hair, put on a little bit of jewelry, nothing too much. And I think it turned out all right. Let me know what you think, what your thoughts are, how you feel about the eyeshadow, the lip, all that good stuff. Anything you're interested in seeing me try out more. And I will keep you updated in regards to how I feel with everything. So be sure to subscribe, like, comment, and share. And I love you guys, and I will see you later. Until next time.